Whoa, just whoa! The Wolvesville developers are about to update at least 5 roles, maybe even 6. Now, we will go over 4 of these roles. Seer is still not certain, but others are pretty much certain since their changes are currently updated in the role description in-game. I will not cover the zombie in this video because, you know, I've had such a long-term hate for this role that at this point I'm even known for zombie hate. Therefore I think the zombie needs its own video. But without further ado, let's jump into the other 4 roles, starting with the Kitten Wolf. Before the update, the Kitten Wolf could once per game convert a player into a werewolf, and in that same night the werewolves could kill someone like normal. Well, as soon as these changes are implemented, this will no longer be possible. The Kitten Wolf does not get any influence in who will be converted, since conversion can only happen once the Kitten Wolf actually dies. The night after the Kitten Wolf dies, the werewolves will try to kill someone, but instead of killing, the player will be converted. This change is massive. First of all, the village knows exactly what night someone might be converted, because they know it happens straight after the Kitten Wolf dies. Secondly, the Kitten Wolf itself will be saved for last by the village if possible, so that there are no more werewolves after killing the Kitten Wolf to convert a player. And third, the Kitten Wolf is the only one who does not get any power in choosing the converted player, since it first needs to die. And don't forget, instead of having a night with conversion and kill, we now get a night with conversion instead of kill. Let's move on to one of the most obscure roles, maybe even underrated roles, the Seer Apprentice. The Seer Apprentice was quite a simple role. Seer dies, you become Seer. As you might have noticed, I call this role obscure, and that is with a reason. This role can namely only appear if there is a Seer in the game. Most players probably play games with Seers, but still then it really is not a fixed role. It only appears as RV, and yeah, the list of RV roles is definitely not the shortest. After the update though, we will see that Seer Apprentice do not only take over the roles of the Seer, but of any informer that dies first amongst the informers. What is considered an informer is debatable, especially because roles like Tough Guy, Red Lady and even Jailer can actually get information. But I assume informers at least include the Seer, the Aura Seer, the Spirit Seer, the Detective and the Sheriff. So as soon as one of those informers die, the Seer Apprentice turns into that role, resulting in a few things. 1. We can see Seer Apprentice in setups without Seer. 2. Seer Apprentice turns into a role with a lot of variation, since you initially don't know who you will become. 3. Seer Apprentice is now a really interesting role for simulations as werewolves. Namely, as soon as an informer dies, you can spread information which might be more fitting at that point in time. And 4. Seer Apprentices can potentially turn into different kinds of informers within the same game. Because yes, if the dead informer you turn into gets revived by the medium, you will become Seer Apprentice again. With a lack of information, I cannot confirm if this is the case, but imagine the Seer dies, you become Seer. Then a night later, Seer is revived, you turn back into Seer Apprentice, and then quickly after the Aura Seer dies. You might become Aura Seer in that case, and thus be Seer and Aura Seer within the same game. Isn't that crazy? The third role is the Alchemist. I'm going to keep this one very short because I actually never got to play with this role, and thus I can barely judge what this changes. With the upcoming update, players that receive 2 red potions will also die. Before the update, those who received the red potions were only potential deaths, but with this new update, getting a red potion is thus also always bad, like the black potion. This will definitely make the Alchemist a bit stronger because it can get 1.5 a kill per night instead of just 1. But I doubt whether this will change much in terms of gameplay. So since I've never played with this role, I do not know how true this is. Some players may be aware of this change, but actually I've never been able to confirm if this is a change in the first place. Finally, for today's video, we got the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer, generally one of the most disliked roles in the community, is actually one of my favorite roles in the entire game, and it receives a much needed update. Previously, the Sorcerer could never be a werewolf, unlike how Wolfseer can resign and vote at night. Now, once the last werewolf dies, the Sorcerer turns into a regular werewolf. This is really good change, and actually the only thing that I really did not like about this role. After all, if the teammates died, you were useless and had practically no chance of winning. The other change has to do with how you are seen by other informers. This is perhaps not the most important change, but definitely the most intriguing change. No longer are you seen as Sorcerer, but instead you are seen as the weakest informer. How the game will exactly perceive weak to strong is beyond my knowledge for now, but the cool part is that if you simulate the weakest informer role, you can actually get checked and be reliable to the Seer. Not to forget that aura seers and detectives will always perceive you as good, unless you of course are the last of your team and are a regular werewolf. This is a really cool change, will definitely open the doors for different kind of strategies as Sorcerer, and the stronger the informer role you simulate, the more influence, but the more likely you will be caught. So with these 4 roles being done, personally I gotta say that all of them sound like amazing changes that will make these roles either way more interesting or more balanced, or even both. Personally I'm most keen on the Sorcerer changes, but I like the Seer Apprentice buffs as well. What is your opinion though on these changes? Do you think that more roles deserve buffs and nerfs? Let us know in the comments down below. If you don't want to miss out on some sort of review on the zombie nerfs and you want to be updated when more is known about the Seer, then definitely subscribe to this channel. I will tell you all about it. My current goal is to reach 4K subscribers, and you can be of such big help with reaching that milestone by pressing that red button. For now, I will see you later, and don't be a traitor.